A quorum is present. I will now call this meeting to order. It is 4:50 p.m. We have no public comments for posted agenda items today. I will now turn the floor over to Brooks Fuller, Audit Senior Manager for Whitley Penn LLP, who will present the audit report for the fiscal year ending August 31st, 2025.
Good evening. I will be presenting the financial statement audit and federal single audit results for fiscal year 2025 for Galena Park I.S.D. As mentioned, my name is Brooke Fuller. I'm the senior manager on the engagement. And then we had Patrick Simmons. He was the engagement partner. And then Selena Saras was the engagement quality control reviewer. Next, I'll quickly go over the audit process. So it all begins before we even come out to the district with our planning, and we identify the district's key internal controls. We then gain a further understanding of those internal controls and conduct meetings with the different departments. We test those internal controls and determine if we can rely upon them. And then we come back after the fiscal year has ended. That was in about October, and we come and do our substantive testing and procedures. And then we assist in the preparation of the report, issue the report, and form our opinion. So a little more on those internal controls. Since payroll is such a large portion of the district's expenditures, we really look into human resources and payroll. We also look into procurement and accounts payable, attendance and how that drives state funding. We look at financial close and reporting, the tax office, and information technology. So the whole purpose of the audit is the opinion on the report, of course. There are 3 different types. The first is a disclaimer. The second is a qualification, which is either a modification due to either a scope limitation or a departure from the generally accepted accounting principles. Then the last is an unmodified opinion, or also known as a clean opinion, which is the best result. So I'm happy to announce that the district has received an unmodified opinion over the financial statements. There was no internal control findings related to financial reporting and no findings related to compliance. Additionally, since the district does receive and expend at least $750,000 of federal awards, we also perform what is called a federal single audit. So for fiscal year 2025, the major federal programs were the Special Education Cluster, Title II Part A, Title IV Part A, and the ESSER program. So we also issued a modified opinion over each major federal program, and then there was no internal control findings related to each of those major programs. So this slide just summarizes the statement of net position. So you can find the full statement in the ACFR. So it's going to present everything the district owns versus what they owe. So it's going to include those capital assets and long-term liabilities. But in summary, there was about a $7 million increase from the prior year in net position. So the total net position for fiscal year 2025 was about $161.1 million. So this slide goes over the fund financial statements. So this is where you're going to find the district's general fund, which is the main operating fund, the debt service fund, the capital projects fund, and those non-major governmental funds. So in summary, the general fund stayed pretty consistent, increased about $160,000 from the prior year, and had an ending fund balance of $222 million. The debt service fund increased about $5.3 million and had an ending fund balance of $8.1 million. The capital projects fund increased significantly due to the debt issued in the current year, about $181.5 million, with the ending fund balance of $200 million. And then lastly, the non-major governmental funds slightly decreased by $1.1 million, with the ending fund balance of $7.1 million. So this slide just goes over the revenues and the general fund for fiscal year 2025 and 2024. So in total, state aid made up about 50% of the revenues in the general fund at $126.3 million. And then property taxes made up about 38% of the revenue at $96.8 million. And then other revenue, about 12% of the total at $30.3 million. So that's the state revenue, TRS on behalf, and investment earnings. This slide goes over the expenditures in the general fund. It totaled about $250 million for the fiscal year. The largest portion was in instruction and related services. So that's the district's functions 11, 12, and 13. And that was $145 million, or about 58%. The next is facilities maintenance and operations at 27.6%, or about 11%. And then the third largest area was in instructional and school leadership at 23.4 million, or 9%. Then this slide just goes over the fund balance categories in the general fund specifically. So in the general fund, non-spendable fund balance, which has the most constraints, that's the district's prepaids and inventories. That totaled about $656,000. And then assigned fund balance, which is assigned by the board for specific purposes, was about $156.7 million. And then unassigned fund balance, which has the least constraints, was about $64.8 million. And you see all of that's pretty comparable with the prior year. Then this slide just goes over unassigned fund balance as a percentage of expenditures in the general fund. So as I just went over, the unassigned fund balance was about $64.8 million for the year, which is about 25.9% of the district's operating expenditures in the general fund. It is recommended for that percentage to be about 10 to 15%. You see that the district is way over that, so that is very good to see, and it's pretty comparable with the prior 2 years. Then lastly, I'll just go over some required communications. The district's accounting policies and methods are appropriate and in accordance with industry standards. Additionally, they did implement GPISD statement number 101 this year. That deals with compensated absences. The preparation of the financial statements requires that certain estimates and judgments be made by management, and we did conclude that management does have a reasonable basis for these judgments and estimates. And then we encountered no difficulties in dealing with management in performing and completing our audit. Additionally, I want to thank Ida, Chris, and their whole team for their cooperation through this audit. I know as auditors, we request a lot, but they've really been great and instrumental in conducting this audit. There were no material misstatements that were identified by us that required their correction. We had no disagreements with management over the application of accounting principles or their judgments over accounting estimates. We have requested certain representations from management in form of a management representation letter. We are not aware of any situations in which management consulted with other accountants on either accounting or financial reporting matters. And then lastly, we discussed the application of accounting principles and auditing standards. However, our responses were not a condition to our retention as auditors. And then I can take any questions, if you'll have any.
No questions? Thank you, Ms. Fuller.
Thank you.
There being no other business before the board at this time, the meeting is adjourned. The time is 4:57 p.m. A quorum is present. I will now call this meeting to order. An executive session of the board will now be held on the matters contained in the notice for the meeting as authorized by sections 551.01 through sections 551.084 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Opens Meetings Act. Should the board determine that any final action, final decision, or final vote be required with regards to any matter considered in such closed or executive meeting or session, then such final action, final decision, or final vote shall be at either this meeting upon the reconvening of this public meeting or at a subsequent public meeting of the board upon notice thereof, as the board shall determine. A closed or executive meeting of the board will now be held. The time is 5:05 p.m. Call this public hearing to order. The time is 5:54 p.m. Dr. Kimberly Martin, Executive Director for Accountability and Academic Support, will present the 2024 to 2025 annual report to the Board of Trustees.
President Garza, Board of Trustees, I want to thank you all for coming to this public meeting where we're going to discuss the annual taper report. Just a little background. This is a public meeting to review our taper report, and I'm so excited that we have standing room only. I can't wait to see the quiz Miss Dancy's going to give Coach Gaston tomorrow. The majority of this information is not new information for our community. We've already seen many of these reports because TEA releases them electronically, but it is a statutory requirement that we review this in a public hearing today and provide you all of the links to the online reports. There are 8 sections to the district annual report. The largest chunk of that comes from our taper report, which is hyperlinked here. You can get the taper report for the district as well as each campus in our district. We also have our PEIMS financial standard report in Section 2. Section 3 is our accreditation status. Section 4 includes all of our performance objectives. So for our campuses, you see that in August and then monitor it quarterly. We also will see the report on violent or criminal incident on campuses. This may be a new report for you tonight. And then we have our student performance in post-secondary institutions for all of our high school campuses, progress towards our House Bill 3 goals, which we presented in October, and finally the last section is the glossary that TEA provides. One of the new data tools that TEA provided this year is a data download where you can just pick an individual section if you're interested in looking at the taper report for a campus by section. You don't have to download the entire 50-page report anymore. That's hyperlinked on that slide. As a quick overview, all of this information is to provide ratings in different areas. For our 2025 accountability rating, you all know we earned a B. For our 2025 special ed determination status, we are a district in needs of assistance. Our 2025 first rating, we had an A, superior achievement financial rating, and we are an accredited school district. So that's the big picture. Section 1 in our taper report includes a lot of information, and we're going to go through that pretty quickly. I've pointed out that our cover page typically includes that special education determination status, our accountability rating, and then the ASVAB test. But the reason I wanted to spend a second here is we are a district who offers the ASVAB test for military readiness, but the cover report is blank if we offer that ASVAB report. So I wanted to point that out to us. Additionally, we see our STAR performance at all 3 levels. It's very important to note that the state breaks that down at approaches, meets, and master's grade level. Approaches is the state standard, meets and masters is what we use for our federal accountability standards. And it is reported for all of our assessments, including ACT and SAT, all grades, all subjects. It's reported across subjects, then grades. It's broken down a variety of ways, particularly in reading and math at meets or higher. And some highlights. This year we've included the page number on the taper report. So highlights from pages 3 to 13, which are our performance data. You can see all the areas that Galena Park I.S.D. is performing at or above the state. And then you can see all of the areas we're performing above the state in progress, as well as we wanted to let you know we're consistently beating the state in subpopulations that include African American, Hispanic, our emergent bilinguals, and our economically disadvantaged students. And if you want a more broken down data, you can click on that hyperlink and see that pages 3 through 13. Pages 14 through 16 include our bilingual education statistics. We are outperforming the state with all of our EB or ESL students in every grade level and all of our contents, including annual growth. Annual growth means how much progress our students are making from, say, 4th grade to 5th grade. And then our accelerated learning. So those students who may have failed a STAR test last year, but making progress in passing that test this year. The next section of the TAPER report includes our participation rates. Several years ago, the state went from one-day testing windows to now 2-week testing windows, and they try to ensure that we are testing all of our students. They also break down students who don't count in our accountability system, so aren't with us at Snapshot that last Friday in October and on test day. You can see all of that information. 99% of our students participate on STAR or STAR Alt. That 97% participation rate, those are for our accelerated testers. So our students who take 8th grade algebra and then have to take the SAT or ACT. The next section includes our attendance, graduation, and dropout rates. I wanted to point out here that this information is very delayed. We've talked about it before, but our attendance, graduation, and dropout rates all have to do with the class of 24, not last year's graduating class. So these are some highlights we wanted to talk about. Our attendance is above the state. We have far fewer chronically absent. Those are students who miss 11 or more days of school than the state. We do have a little bit higher of a dropout rate, and I highlighted these because I wanted to remind you this does not include when ACE was created to be its own campus. Now that ACE is its own campus, it had its first graduating class last year. We will see that data reflected next year on next year's TAPER report. So you can compare our 4-, 5-, and 6-year graduation rate with the state on this slide. Something interesting to point out, though, is our portfolio of a graduate, our graduate profile. In Galena Park I.S.D., if you look down to the economically disadvantaged area, you'll see that 87.5% of our 24 graduates were economically disadvantaged, while at the state, only 55.5% of the state's graduates are economically disadvantaged. So we are on track or beating the state in many indicators. You can see the same thing is true with our at-risk population and our emergent bilingual or ELL students. The next section of the TAPER report is something that you're familiar with. We've spent a lot of time recently talking about CCMR and how we're working to improve that in our district. Again, you see the asterisks there because we're talking about the graduating class of 2024. It is a year delayed. That's the most recent information available. So again, we have a few areas highlighted that we've worked on and are included in your board goals and dashboards. Our CCMR graduates, 76% of our graduating class of 2024 was CCMR ready. At the state, that level was 82%. And then we've also highlighted our TSIA criteria. That's an area we are working really, really hard on in the last couple of years, particularly this year. So we hope to see that improve in the future. Next included is our student and staff information, and that is several pages from page 29 to 34. There's a lot of information there. I pulled out just a few things that are interesting and new in the report. On the top left of this slide, you can see our teacher incentive allotment payout designations. That's now included in the TAPER report. So you can see our teachers who are designated master teacher, what that payout is compared to the state, remembering that it's based on our economically disadvantaged. You can also see our students broken down by programs, so how many foster care students we may have at risk, our special education students compared to the state. And then something else of interest, in all of the reported areas, with the exception of social studies, our class sizes continue to be lower than the rest of the state. Section 2 of the TAPER report includes the PEIMS financial standards reports. This information is available only online, and it's hyperlinked on that online-only area if you're interested. That's previously been shared by our business department, but you can see we earned a superior achievement rating. Section 3 includes our accreditation status. We have highlighted in green that we are accredited. Again, this hyperlink will take you to any school in the state of Texas, any school district, and you can see their accreditation status. Section 4 includes our performance objectives. In Galena Park I.S.D., we do that through the Campus and District Improvement Plan, which is posted on our website, and then you all monitor that through the KPI dashboard. So some new information. This is the incidence of violence or criminal acts on campuses. You can see the reason codes on the left that the state requires us to report in this public hearing, and the number of incidents of those occurrences. We are well below any of the school districts in our area. That is also posted online publicly with our taper report. Additionally, Section 6 of the annual report includes students' performance in post-secondary institution, and this is very delayed. We get it from the Texas Education Higher Coordinating Board. It takes our graduates and tells us how many of those students continue on to finish at least 1 year of junior college. The last piece of information that we have is from our class of 2023. And you can see that information here broken out. For the district, we're at 49.4% of our students that enrolled in an institute of higher ed, when across the state it's 47.6%. We have previously presented our House Bill 3 goals. Those are the early literacy goals as well as our CCMR goals. So that presentation is hyperlinked here from our October board meeting. And then finally, the taper glossary is attached. This is a public hearing, so I'd like to ask the audience if they have any questions. All right. Board, any questions? All right, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Martin. The public hearing is adjourned. The time is 6:06 p.m. The Board of Trustees of Galena Park Independent School District is now convening a regular meeting on January 12, 2026 in the Administration Building of Galena Park Independent School District, the address of which is 14705 Wood Forest Boulevard, Houston, Texas 77015. The time is 6:06 p.m. I wanted to welcome the members of our audience to the meeting of the Board of Trustees. As the Galena Park I.S.D. Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and the day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on tonight's agenda. Agenda items would not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of the meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session and consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by sections 551.071 and 551.084, inclusive of the Texas Government Code. I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in a silent mode. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening and for your interest in Galena Park Independent School District. We have no public comments for posted agenda items today. We do have public comments for non-agenda items today. Patrons who have duly registered per policy BED local may address the board regarding matters of concerns or interest to the district. Other than the character of any student, staff, or board member, I would like to remind the audience that the comments of the speakers reflect their own positions or opinions. The board may not discuss or act upon any matter that is not listed under the action item portion of the agenda. Therefore, board members may not discuss the comments of the speakers. Please understand that a lack of response from a board member does not indicate agreement or approval of the comments. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to address the board. The vice president of the board will be the designated timekeeper. Ms. Mercedes Sanchez, Senior Director of Government Community Relations with Commissioner Adria Garcia, Harris County Precincts 2 Office, will you please step up to the podium?
Good evening. I am not Mercedes. She was not able to make it tonight. My name is Laura Alvarado. I am the community liaison for Commissioner Garcia, and we are here to recognize all of you board directors, acknowledge you for the School Board Recognition Month. As a product of a public school, I understand the foundation and the commitment that it takes to run such an amazing system. I also had a family that graduated from Galena Park, North Shore, and so many a times I've been to games and watched him march in the band, and so truly an amazing school for North Shore and the entire Galena Park system. So I want to recognize you all this evening, not just the work that you do throughout this month, but each and every year in your commitment to serve. I do have some certificates for each of you, and I've not been to this particular one, and so if you will indulge me, I'd like to have a group photo of each of you with the certificate, and so as I call your name, I'm not sure where you take the photo. Okay, right over here. So these are in no particular order, and the first one is the Honorable Jose Jimenez, the Honorable Ramon Garza, Linda Clark Sherrod, Noe Esparza, Amanda Arabia, Dr. John Moore, Norma Hernandez, and Adrian Stevens.
Thank you, Ms. Alvarado. Mr. Frank Gonzalez with Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia's office, will you please step up to the podium?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Frank Gonzalez. I'm Director of Special Projects for U.S. Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia. It is an honor to be here with you today on behalf of Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia, representing Texas 29th Congressional District, to recognize the dedicated service of the Galena Park Independent School District Board of Trustees. Serving on a school board is both a responsibility and a calling. It requires thoughtful leadership, countless hours of service, and a deep commitment to students and families. Your work often happens behind the scenes, yet its impact is felt every day in classrooms across the district. Through your leadership and your stewardship, you help ensure that students receive a high-quality education, that educators are supported, and that families have confidence in their public schools. Your dedication strengthens not only Galena Park I.S.D., but the broader community you serve. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading. This evening, it is my privilege to present certificates of special congressional recognition from Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia as a token of appreciation for your service and commitment. These certificates represent the gratitude of the United States Congress and reflect the Congresswoman Garcia's appreciation for your leadership and your continued dedication to public education. On behalf of Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia and on behalf of the 29th Congressional District of Texas, congratulations, felicidades, and thank you for your service to Galena Park I.S.D. Your work makes a lasting difference in the lives of students and families, and it is truly worthy of recognition. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Dr. Sharonda Hunter, Executive Director for School and Community Relations, will you please step up to the podium?
Good evening. I stand before you on behalf of the elected officials and community leaders who were unable to attend tonight, but would like to thank you for your service. This year's theme, Our Future is Public, reminds us that public education is the foundation of opportunity for every child in our community, and your service helps keep that promise alive. We are honored to have received proclamations, resolutions, and certificates from leaders and organizations who recognize the invaluable work you do. I would like to acknowledge the proclamations from North Channel Area Chamber of Commerce and Mayor Esmeralda Moya that proclaims January 2026 as Board Recognition Month, and all citizens are urged to join in recognizing the dedication and hard work of school board members who help mold the education system that meets the needs of both today's and tomorrow's children. Resolutions from Senator Carol Alvarado and State Representative Ana Hernandez, and certificates of appreciation from Commissioner Rodney Ellis and Superintendent of Schools Dr. John Moore, honoring the dedication, leadership, and continuous service that you provide to our children of this community. Each message acknowledges your dedication, leadership, and sacrifice that you make each and every day. A copy of each item will be provided for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hunter. Tonight's invocation will be presented by Norma Hernandez, and the pledges to the American and Texas flag will be led by North Shore Middle School Army LOTC. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag.
Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather together as a school board, we ask for clarity and insight into make just, beneficial, and wise decisions. Guide us as we focus on the well-being and future successes of our students. As we return from the holidays, let us welcome our students with open hearts and minds and ready to continue their studies. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family and loved ones of our student who we lost over the winter break. We seek comfort, strength, and peace from God as we heal and trust in His divine plans. In God's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Order, colors, outward, face, forward, march, left, 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 right, right, left, 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 right.
You may be seated. We'll now move on to this evening's special recognition portion of the agenda. Dr. Moore?
All right. First of all, I'd like to thank our elected officials for coming out, honoring our board. We also have Patrick Grant with Commissioner Rodney Ellis's office in. If you give us a wave. There you go. Thank you for coming tonight, sir. And just so you know, if you were in here at the beginning when our young lady felt a little lightheaded, she is outside doing just fine. I'm not, I don't know what she ate earlier today. I don't know any of those kind of things, but I do know it was a really good night to have the North Shore football staff here because we had 3 trainers in the room, and they happened to be out there with her, and they know a whole lot more about it than me, so she's in good hands. So anyway, thanks for coming out. We got a large number of people to recognize tonight, so this may take a minute. We appreciate your time.
Gotcha. Yeah. Got it. We figured it out. I didn't think it was late. Thank you. All right. We are going to get started with tonight's acknowledgement of our staff and students. We will begin tonight by honoring, we would like to begin this evening's recognition by congratulating the North Shore Senior High School Band Program under the direction of Mr. Shane Goforth for receiving the Earl D. Irons Program of Distinction Award. Mr. Goforth, thank you for joining us, but at this time we would also like to have our 3 North Shore principals join us on stage and any other staff members who are affiliated with our Fine Arts program. North Shore Senior High School is only the 5th school in Texas to receive the Earl D. Irons Program of Distinction in the award's history. This honor is bestowed upon band programs that exhibit superior achievement, moral uprightness, and promote the international development of bands. Congratulations on this prestigious honor. We are so very proud of you. Next, Galena Park would like to recognize and applaud the top individual and team Social Studies B winners. The Social Studies B is a competition that focuses on history across the United States. This annual competition emphasizes what students are learning in the classroom and extends their application of knowledge. Please join us on stage as we call your name. The overall top scorer and Ruby Gresham Scholarship winner we have with us today Matthew Pena, Adrian Calderon, Corbin Kegler, and I do apologize. We're going to do our geography B first. This is our geography B. Our apologies. Antonio Luviano, Nicholas Wong, Noah Anguiana, and Angel Fuentes. Right. And let's make sure we get this correct. This Geography B is an annual competition designed to encourage the study of geography, and students are selected by their campus to compete among their peers. During the competition, participants are asked geography questions and earn points for correct answers. At this time, we would also like any of our staff or student and campus principals to join us on stage for this photo as well. call it again. You handed me those first. All right. Next, we would like to honor our social studies B winners. Tonight, we have with us Mr. Roberto Barrientos, Luz Campos, and Joshua Puente. This annual competition emphasizes what students are learning in the classroom and extends their application of knowledge. Thank you all for being here with us on this evening, and at this time we would also like to ask our principals, Mr. Pearson, Dr. Hutchinson, Coach John Childress, Coach Isidro Maldonado, and Miss Crystal Argiard to join us on stage at this time. Congratulations to these outstanding students. And last, but certainly not least, we would like to recognize the North Shore Mustang varsity football team for defeating the Duncanville Panthers on December 20th, 2025 to win the 2025 UIL Texas Football 6A Division I State Championship. This is, go ahead, go, whoop, holler, do it, yeah. You can be a little indignant now, okay? And in case you weren't keeping counts, this is North Shore's second state championship in 5 years and sixth state championship overall. Please join us on stage as we recognize staff and students. We will begin with our athletic director, Ms. Vivian Dancy. Deputy Director of Athletics, Kay Walker. Head football coach, Mr. Willie Gaston. QB coordinator, Ben Carnima. Running back and assistance coach, Lamont Atkins. Receivers coach, Jose Carranza. Offensive line coach, Kobe Green. Offensive line coach, Carnell Gray. Offensive line coach, Kyle Hedridge. Inside receivers coach, Ian Means. Outside receivers coach, Frank Wilson. Defensive coordinator, Garrett Cross. Defensive assistant coach, Sean Cottersall. Linebackers coach, JT Cleveland. Linebackers and special teams coordinator, Thomas Dunson. Safeties and assistant coach coordinator, Nick Flores. Defensive line coach, Ashante Joseph. Defensive backs coach, Keith McCoy. Corners, Sam Richardson. Defensive line coach Sean Wynn. Defensive assistant Joshua Pratt. Licensed trainer Derica Stewart. Licensed trainer Kennedy Harris. Licensed trainer Carlos Rivera. And last but not least, trainer Kebron Aklilu. All right. Next, we will bring up our student trainers. Student trainer, first we have Regina Gutierrez. And now we will begin with our players. First up, Tommy Anderson, Isaac Aranda, Jacob Ardron, Marvin Bio, Jalen Bocard, Torrance Bradford, Elijah Brown, Daniel Cruz, Omari Demerson, Jason James, Hezekiah Johnson, Braylon Jones, Davion Jones, Brandon King, David Martinez, Zaquan Nunn, Chasen Oliver, Marcus Stewart, Calvin Walker, Demetrius Walker, Tayshawn Williams, and Vershawn Williams. These are our senior players for the North Shore Senior High School football team. At this time, we would also like for our principals, all of our North Shore principals, to come up and join us on stage with this group as well.
Again? I was like, that don't look like that.
He said, I don't remember none of this stuff.
Any board member may make a comment during this portion of the agenda without prior posting being required. Comment items may not be pertain to the character of any student, staff, or board member and may not be discussed or deliberated upon this time. Does anyone have a comment? I just want to say, like I told them good luck in the December board meeting, and I just want to say congratulations and how proud we are as a family, because that's what Galena Park I.S.D. is a big family. We're just, I've been here, this is my 5th state championship with them, and, this has been a good ride, and I told Coach Willie we won back-to-back, and it's been a while since we got this one, so we're not putting no pressure on him, we just want back-to-back.
I want to recognize also all the participants in the marching band and the Scarlets and the Rounders, because everybody out in the field, including all the volunteers, made this happen. And we've been there game in and out, and especially all the administrators, all the support across the way. And just so proud of everything that's been accomplished.
And I'd like to add, the trainers, you saw them hop up and get in action, and that was amazing, but the student trainers are amazing as well. I also want to thank the parents. I don't want to forget about y'all. So the parents, grandparents, the village that it took to get them to where they are, thank you.
And the community. The community is so big here, and for cheering these kids on and off the field and being a part of their journey.
Thank you, guys. Dr. Sharonda Hunter, Executive Director for School Community Relations, will present the Board of Trustees Spotlight in recognition of Board Appreciation Month. Dr. Hunter will highlight the Board of Trustees in video format.
Thank you. Good evening again. On behalf of the entire Galena Park I.S.D. school community, it is my honor to thank you, our Board of Trustees, for your leadership, dedication, and countless sacrifices. Your thoughtful decisions, long hours, and unwavering commitment make Galena Park I.S.D. a place where students can learn, grow, and thrive. This month's theme, Our Future is Public, reminds us that public schools are the foundation of opportunity for our children and our community. Your service directly supports that promise every day. We've collected short messages from our principals from across the district to express gratitude. So please enjoy this video. It comes directly from the hearts of those who see the differences your leadership makes every day.
To the Galena Park ISD board members, I would like to say I appreciate you. I thank you for all of your support.
You all do so much for our community and so much for the schools to help us make decisions and to give us the opportunity to do what's right for kids.
Thank you for everything that you do. We truly feel supported by every one of you.
Thank you for giving of your time, because this is voluntary work. You guys are beyond amazing. You guys don't need accolades or recognitions for us to tell you that. You do so much for our community and for us.
The hours that you put in to ensure that we're successful.
For allowing us to run our schools. We feel empowered to be able to do what's best for each of our campuses.
Thank you. Thank you for your service to Galena Park. Thank you for leading with your hearts.
People that obviously are passionate about education, passionate about this community, passionate about our kids.
Thank you. Thank you for being present in our schools.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you allowing us to do our job and trusting that we're going to do what's best for this community.
You support us, not just the community, but you support the faculty, the teachers, and most importantly, you support the students.
You guys have continued to support us, even though we're not
on our own campus and we're at the college, we feel like they're always there to support us no matter what the situation is.
Board of Trustees, I would like to personally thank you for giving me an opportunity to serve not just in Galena Park ISD, but to serve the Green Valley community.
It shows every day the love that you have for us, the passion that you have for our community.
Thank you for giving us your time and your dedication to support our community and to serve.
You give a lot of your time to support the district in many ways.
Thank you for believing in me, for giving me a chance.
We see you out there in the hallways of our schools.
For your leadership, your vision, your support to our staff, students, and community.
You provide all the tools necessary to ensure that we do what's best for kids.
You impact our schools more than you ever know.
Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for supporting us.
As a principal, I really appreciate each and every one.
Thank you. If I had 10,000 tongues, I could not say thank you enough.
Before I take my seat, on behalf of the Communications Department, we have prepared a commemorative scrapbook with a little twist to recognize your service. And so we're going to pass those out to you. We hope that you enjoy them. It contains messages, photos, memories from across the district. And on behalf of the students, staff, and community of Galena Park ISD, we appreciate your service, your sacrifices, and your commitment to making our district a great place to be. Would like to ask the administrators who are here tonight to please stand to be recognized, just to say thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hunter. We now come to the business portion of tonight's meeting. We invite and encourage you to stay for the remainder of the meeting. However, if you need to leave early, go watch the Texans. We understand, and this is a convenient time to do so. We appreciate your attendance. Please come again. Ed Martier, Director for Facilities Planning and Construction, will provide a 2016 and 2024 bond program and facilities construction update.
President Garza, Board of Trustees, Dr. Moore, Cabinet, good evening. I would also like to thank you for all the service and all the work that you do. I've only been here a year, but everywhere I go, I see you guys. So, I mean, it's very appreciated, and you're definitely engaged, invested, and the community appreciates it. There it is. Galena Park, Phase 3A, the new field house. I don't know if you've driven out there. We have poured the slab over the break, and we have steel going up. So this was taken last week. It's actually, we have more steel than this. This was taken Friday, and we've actually added more steel to it. They've moved the crane from where it's at now to the middle. So by the end of the week, we should have 2/3 of the steel, the primary members up, and by next week, all of it should be done. North Shore 9th grade renovations. I know this has been a long and arduous task. We had to work around the kids. It was making too much noise, so we started doing it after school. Window frames are actually in. We're waiting for the glass now. And the gym that you're looking at should have glass in it sometime in the next 2 weeks. We've also removed that rock that you've you're used to seeing this school. This is one of the corners that we removed a rock. We're waterproofing it now, and what we're going to do is just apply a plaster finish to it, so it's more waterproof. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank
No
you, Ed.
questions.
We will now move on to new business. Is there a motion to approve an amendment to Galena Park I.S.D. District of Innovation Local Initiative Plan?
I, Amanda Arabia, move we approve an amendment to Galena Park ISD's District of Innovation Local Innovation Plan as presented.
I know I.S.D. second the motion.
A motion was made by Amanda Arabia and second by Noe Esparza. All in favor? All opposed? The motion carries 7-0 with no abstentions. Is there a motion to approve an agreement for a limitation on the taxable value of property for maintenance and operations ad valorem tax purpose with NRG Greens Bayou 6 LLC, Texas Controller of Public Accounts, application J0017?
I, Norma Hernandez, move we approve an agreement with NRG Greens Bayou 6 LLC, Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts, application J0017 as presented.
I, Amanda Arabia, second the motion.
A motion was made by Norma Hernandez and second by Amanda Arabia. All in favor? The motion is carried 7-0 with no abstentions. Is there a motion to approve the general consent agenda?
I, Adrian Stevens, move we approve the general consent agenda as presented.
I, Jose Jimenez, second the motion.
A motion was made by Adrian Stevens and second by Jose Jimenez. All in favor? The motion carried 7-0 with no abstentions. With respect to the construction consent agenda, do we want to remove any item for separate vote or take the agenda as is?
I, Amanda Arabia, move we approve the construction consent agenda as presented.
I, Adrian Stevens, second.
A motion was made by Amanda Arabia and second by Adrian Stevens. All in favor? The motion is carried 7-0 with no abstentions. With respect to the financial consent agenda, do we want to remove any items for separate vote or take the agenda as is?
I know I.S.D. move we approve the financial consent agenda as presented.
I, Norma Hernandez, second the motion.
A motion was made by Noe Esparza and second by Norma Hernandez. All in favor? The motion carries 7-0 with no abstentions. The following documents were presented to the board for information. Dr. Juana Giacona, Chief Administrator Officer, presented 1. The Early Head Start Policy Council meeting minutes, November 2025, and 2. The Early Head Start Update and Fund 205 Expenditure Report Summary for November of 2025. B. Mr. Ben Poppy, Chief Financial Officer, presented 1. The Tax Collection Report for November 2025. 2. The 2016 Bond Program Financial Report as of November 30th, 2025. 3. The 2024 Bond Program Financial Report as November 30th, 2025. 4. General Fund Budget Summary Report for the period of September 1, 2025 through November 30th, 2025. There being no other business before the board at this time, the meeting is adjourned. The time is 6:49 p.m. No, 7:15. 25 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, really?